Hi, this is Steve Matthews with the Matthews Real Estate Group. Just wanted to take a quick moment and explain some very important items that are happening in real estate right now when you're buying and selling a home. I get this question very often, so I just thought I'd take a quick minute and explain to you a couple of key items. Number one, when you're making an offer on a house, it's important to understand the due diligence period. The longer you can get as a buyer, the better, and the shorter you get as a seller, the better. An average due diligence in this market I'm seeing is about 3 to 5 days. This is the time for you to get your inspections done, check out the neighborhood conditions, any important items that you feel are important when you're buying a house. This is the time for the seller to just sit back and wait. This is the free look period for a buyer. Number two is your financing contingency. If you're financing a home, you have a contingency period that you have to turn all your paperwork in, lock in your interest rate, things like that. In this market, as a seller, we are almost always putting zero for our financing contingency. You should have already done that homework. You should have already talked to the lender. You should already know that you're approved for a home. The final thing is the appraisal, and a lot of people get confused on what an appraisal means. An appraisal is only important if you're financing the home, and this is what the bank values the property at. So for easy numbers, let's say that you're under contract on a property at $600,000, but the appraisal comes in at $550,000. Where does that extra money come from? Okay, that means that the buyer has to bring that extra money, the $50,000, to the closing and give it to the seller. Okay, the bank's not going to loan you more than the appraised value. The appraisal period right now that we're seeing is around 14 days. Sometimes it takes 21 days, sometimes it takes 25 days, but a seller is not going to take their home off the market for an indefinite time to get an appraisal. Now, the other part of that is we are seeing lots and lots of appraisals come in lower than value because there may not have been anything that sold in the neighborhood for over 6 months. So that's when a gap clause comes in. So if you have this home under contract at $600,000, it appraises for $550,000, but you wrote, let's say, a $15,000 gap clause into the contract, that means that you'll pay up to $15,000 over the appraised value. Doesn't mean that the seller has to accept a lower value, but at least hopefully you can compromise somewhere in between. Thanks for watching.